Hey everybody, I'm here with Joyce, all knowing, and
Hello, hello.
I'll be sure to put down how to reach you and your YouTube channel.
Terrific,
I
terrific.
met Joyce on YouTube. Tell us how you got in the biz,
How I got onto YouTube. It
or
was,
even how you became psychic.
well, you know what? It's crazy, but it started back when I was like 2 and I was a real sickly child. And I would have these crazy like visions and this and that were scary at the time. And then when I was about somewhere between like 8 or 9, I had a dream and it was, well, I didn't know at that time what it was, but I was in like a TV studio and I was at the top of the like bleachers and a lady was at a table with some cards and she beckoned me down. There was supposed to be a free reading. I didn't know. I thought she was going to read a book. She had cards on her table and she told me I was going to be doing that. And after that, she would call me in my dreams. She would call me. And my mother was very psychic. My grandmother was. My mother even used to say to me when I would tell her my dreams that young people have dreams and older people have visions. And I'm telling you, if that is not true, I do not know. So it just grew from there. I got into the cards in the late 70s out of curiosity, as teenagers do, and that type of thing. And it just kind of went on from there. I dismissed it for, I'll say I minimized it for 30 plus years because I was teaching in the public schools, teacher, vice principal, principal, resource teacher, teaching kids how to pass tests and things like that. And so I had that part of my life going on, but it never goes away. When you're in the classroom and you're looking at kids, you get a feel of, I know who you are, or I know who your family is, the
Right.
energy of them. And so the family would come in. I'm like, yep, this makes sense. And so what last year I was watching Linda and she was with Third Eye Champagne and a few other good ones out there. And I just said, okay, I didn't say I could do it. My daughters did. I have 4 daughters. I have 2 live at home. And they said, Mommy, you could do that. And they pushed and pushed. And finally, I'm like, okay, I'll make a video. And he was all, bye. And here we
Yeah.
are today.
And you
Yeah.
guys be sure to watch her. She's actually really good. I was very pleased.
Thank you.
You
Thank
did
you.
it, girlfriend. That's why I'm having you read my daughter.
Good. And you know what, though, Linda, I'm going to tell you something. It is this energy. And guys, I'm not just saying this. I'm a type of person, if you get to know me, I don't say things just to say them. If I don't
No.
feel it, I don't say it. But when we did our last time on my channel together, her energy is so powerful that as soon as I sat down and I was not sleepy, I clonked out to sleep. You know how your energy is
Yeah.
just, it was so much. It wasn't drawn out. It was this just like that, something I haven't felt before. I can even feel it right now, goosebumps. Actually, that
Wow.
is true. So yeah, I like it. It's real.
Thank you. Well,
Mhm.
my abilities didn't come on full force till I went through breast cancer.
Yeah. Hmm.
So, in your awakening and what you've gone through, what would you say was the most spiritual or connected moment in your life?
Actually, it was not necessarily something that happened to me. It was with my dad, and my dad worked full time, but he also drove cab full time, and so he ended up actually getting his throat slashed. Okay, someone robbed him. Yes, they found him quickly, though. Some people in the back of an alley, and he spoke to us about his near-death experience, and it just resonated with me so much, of what things were really like when you transition and how beautiful it is and how peaceful it is. And you're not worrying about what my daughter or my son or my whoever, it's just absolutely beautiful. And that was really this sort of wake up thing of, my goodness, it's just like this aha, where I said, let me embrace my thing. Because my dad was a complete, he wasn't an atheist, he wasn't an agnostic, because even if you're that, you're still believing in something,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
So with him, there was nothing. Okay. But after that, he really, he didn't become like saved, quote unquote, but he just had a different way of being. And I think that is what really resonated with me. And this was later. Okay.
Right.
So yeah. And then like you, it seems to come like if you have an NDE or a illness, some type of an illness. And I can't even tell you how many times I would just be in the hospital, had a spinal tap done and the whole thing. It comes out of that. It comes out of suffering, you know, that you overcome, and you're able to then be there for other people.
In your suffering, you will see God.
Yes. Yes, Linda. Absolutely. You know what? When things are right, I get this, I always call them angel hugs. I get this hug from the back, and that is spot on. And, but the thing about it is that I can't give it to you. You can't give it to me. It has to happen for individuals. They have to, you know, because I often get people that want me to show them the way.
Yeah.
But the way is internal.
Something. Yeah.
Yes.
Some sort of key. But
yes.
You know, thanks to this YouTube, which they told me to do, which I had no intention of doing. But if I have a large audience and they help that happen, those who want to know or hear will hear it. And part of that is because remember, they even told me, Linda, you guys are going too much off on the Trump thing. You're going to have to let that down because
I remember you do. I watch you. I don't, I'm going to be honest and say, I don't subscribe to people that read in my field, just because I feel like I would get too jaded in my own perspective. You know, now I'm, you know, and with him, everybody was reading on that anyways, but I absolutely remember you saying that they said we're doing too much. And you were saying we need to bring it down some.
I know people were mad at me.
Were they?
Yeah,
but we were
you even say, what do you mean forgive him? No, I wasn't saying for you to don't have to forgive him. We cannot push out that negative energy without it affecting us also.
Yeah, I got that too. And my thing wasn't so much as forgive, but this is a lesson. You know, I always come from this educational perspective, and that whole situation was a lesson. In other words, if you didn't like it, you had it. If you liked it, you had it. And so it's bigger. Of course, when we're going to learn a lesson, it's got to be big to get our attention. But to not be able to say, I'm going to own that, or I'm not going to do that anymore, I'm not going to be this way or that way. People kind of got upset with that, but I still talk my talk because that's Joyce, you know, because if I feel that my guys are saying this is what needs to be said, I would jump on and say it the way that I was told to say it. And that's the difference too, is that, and you know this, Linda, when your guys are speaking to you, when your higher power is speaking to you, you got to move with it. You know what I mean? Like if they say, go make a video, you got to go make a video. If they're saying you need to talk about this, you got to go do it. I will never forget. It was Barron Trump. And it was after 11 at night, and I was in the bed in jammies and everything.
Oh, girl,
and
I wouldn't have woke up.
I was just about to sleep, and my guys were like almost pulling on me to go make a video. He's sick. Go make a video. I hadn't read anything on him. I didn't know what was going on. I made the video and I said, he's got COVID. I promise you, I made that video and I could see that it did not come from his dad. It came from his mom. Okay.
Wow.
Man, the pushback I got. No, he's not even in there. They're not even together. Da, 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 da. But I had to stand on it. And do you know, about 3 or 4 hours later, it came on in the middle of the night that little boy had COVID.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely. And so you have to move with it, because when you move with it, they know that you're trusting them to lead, and then they give you more leads and breadcrumbs.
Right. Well, that's that faith. You just stand.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely.
So we've got a lot of questions for you, girlfriend.
Okay.
Are we getting that light again over behind me?
Yep.
Like that energy form is in here?
Yes.
Do you see that?
I do. Yep.
It's overcast outside.
Oh, is it really? Because you got a big old bright orb over your head. It looks like there's a big, bright, sunny day coming through the window.
Because that's a crystal-like window, it always looks like that.
Oh, okay.
I like to say it's God standing behind me, but that's actually, you know that back piece I use? I was just too lazy to use it.
Yeah.
People miss the dogs too, so They've lost.
Where are the
Yeah.
dogs?
Well, now they're up sleeping in my room. They've lost 6 pounds apiece
Wow.
on that diet. Yeah.
Bear's right here. Anywhere that I am, Bear
Yeah.
is. And she's
Yeah.
right here, my German Shepherd on the floor, asleep, waiting on mommy.
Okay, so folks want to know what you think about the Republican Party.
The Republican Party, my feeling is right in the middle of a split. If you hadn't noticed, they are splitting up. There is going to be, I feel there is this sort of radical right, and they want a voice and they want to say they feel oppressed. They are igniting each other. These are the Trumpsters. Those are the Trumpsters. That's the new Republicans. Okay. And they're going to continue to grow. However, there is another part of the traditional Republicans that I want to stay traditional. They don't want to go over to the right. They don't want to be connected to white supremacy or any of these things. That's not it. Those are the ones that sort of in bed with the evangelicals, because the evangelicals help support the Republicans, and the evangelicals and the Republicans weaponize the Bible, weaponize Christianity,
Yeah, they
so
do.
that you don't have LGBTQs and abortions and all of that. So you got that sanction. But I'm going to tell you something. What outnumbers most are independents. Like, I am an independent. I'm neither Democrat nor I'm Republican. I'm going to vote with my common sense. I'm going to weigh the pros and cons like a lot of people are doing. And I think that the Democrats, who are not Democrats, but the independents, will lean more towards those Republicans that are like traditional. You have that possibility coming up, but they don't want to commit. Do you understand?
Right.
But they're a little more conservative than, like, say, more leftist Democrats. And
Right.
so I think that we're going to see the Republican split. And I don't even care if you've got more radicals and less traditionals. Anytime that a party is split, a party can't win. And so if Democrats and independents that are more to the left keep their nose straight, keep their focus, Democrats will continue to win, because the country overall is going mainly left. Look at the little boys. Have you ever seen these little boys with the dresses and the jewels and, you know, these little pictures of these are like teenagers or 20-year-olds are dressing like girls, and it's accepted. Will Smith and Jada, what's her name? Jada Smith. Their little boy. Yeah, that type of thing. They want that. There's a little group my daughter used to love. They won American Idol over in Europe or something. I can't think of the name of them, but they're little boys. And one of them is Harry something. But anyways, he dresses like a girl with the long draping scarves and the skirt. And so this country as a whole is moving left. Now, I live in the suburbs, and you should see how many people have the same sign I have that says science is real, love is love, gay is love, you know, all of that. And that is my daughter. And she just turned 20, Camille. And so they're in that way. The country is going with them. And you see, like, COVID even wiped out people that aren't willing to go in that direction. I hate to put it like that, but that's what I see. I see the party split. I see those people are going to go, the Proud Boys, white supremacists, insurrectionist people. They're going to be the Trumpsters, because he gave them sort of this permission to say whatever that was vulgar or whatever that they wanted to. Right. And so that's what I see happening with the Republicans. And Republicans are not going to take over, or not going to be able to retake over until they come together with something. That's what I see.
My son is the same way. He's 20. He's 29.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about there.
He's agnostic, and he's independent. And he doesn't. He wanted Andrew Yang.
Okay, I shouldn't laugh at that. I mean, that would have been fine.
Once in a while, he'd tease me and say he voted for Trump, and watch me just split ahead. Wow, you gotta be kidding. No, I didn't vote for him. So anyway, yeah, they're all you can't fool these young kids.
No, not at all. These are what you call our star seeds, right? So they're here for a job and a purpose. And that job is not at McDonald's or at UPS or whatever. Their job is here to help us heal and to open up our minds, those that are still, with a set frame. They're here to open our eyes up to things. And we're going to see this country going more and more to the left. And so that's sort of going to leave those radical wingers, say that 10 times, out in the air.
Unfortunate about those churches because it's only about money.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. It is.
They just did a list of all these churches having all this money and they don't pay a drop of taxes.
Right. Well, listen, if you read the Bible, and we were very churched growing up, we had to go to 2 different churches on Sunday, plus, choir rehearsal, and I got confirmation. A lot of people know what that is. Jesus destroyed temples. He did not have any respect for those formal churches, not at all. He took the people to the street, So they've come back. They've gotten bigger. What do they call them? The mega million churches. So, and I feel like everybody is on a different rung spiritually. And some people are on a lower rung. Some people vibrate lower. And it is what it is. It just is what it is.
You see the Republican Party itself, you see it being split. So
I do.
More, or I had a hit that the Republicans were going to totally change like the Democrats did.
Mm-hmm. But that part is going to take time.
It's going to take some time.
And the change may not necessarily be what we'd like. It may be a little more uncivilized before it comes back to something that's going to go with the flow of the country, because they can't continue and to be successful and be so out on, like outliers, way on the fringy ends of society.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So you had a vision about C-19?
I did. My first one, I told you this. I didn't even think I told you that on camera, but I remember I was floating across the United States, but I was in the western portion, New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, California, southern SoCal, SoCal. But anyways, I remember seeing this black smoke. It was black, coming up, gray, black, all of that. And I did not know what was going on. And my first thought, is this a fire? And this is prior to the COVID. And I just saw it start spreading. It was dark there. Then it started just heading more east across the country. Okay. Wow. And then I came out of it. But now when I had the vision again, and this is just a few nights ago, there's still smoke, but now you can see through it. There's patches of gray, but now I could see through it. Before you could barely see through it. But just because I lived out there, I knew where I was, but now it's lightening up. So my own opinion is everybody relax. It is going to come to an end. It is going to dissipate. Is it ever going to be gone 100%? I don't feel like it's ever going to be gone 100%. I think if you desire to get the vaccine, then you should do that, yeah, so that's what I'm seeing, it thinning out, but never 100% gone. Sort of like, do you remember? Well, of course you do. Back in the AIDS crisis, remember that? And it just hit like bombshells, and gals were dying left and right. And then slowly it dissipated. However, it is not gone. It's not gone. So same thing.
So folks want to know about the economy. Will prices finally start going down? Gas and lumber and everything, homes. Do you ever see a break in that?
No, not right now. Not over the course of this year. Now I'm going to put this back on Trump, because he got a lot of applause from Republicans saying all that he did. But what he was doing was giving our country away to other countries. And so that was causing a craziness in our economy that we're feeling the flux of it now. So I don't see any of that changing, not at all this year, not going down. I really don't. I think that we're going to struggle with that for maybe this year and part of next year. I mean, there'll be ups and downs, but there won't be a down. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't see a crash like 2008 or anything like that.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Israel and Palestine.
Let me talk to you about that. That is an interesting situation. So if we take a look at this through the numbers, so number 5 is a 5-year. And so my video yesterday, we talked about that it's a 5-year, which I keep trying to tell people, but it passes. And then we go into a 6-year next year, and it's about harmony. And it's 222, by the way. So that means that everything's going to be on the right path. However, with them being May, right now, it's a number 1 month. Okay. And so they both are operating as number ones. Number ones want to be the leader. They want to be in charge. They want to call all the shots. I'm the boss. So you imagine 2 number ones. It's like that. And so it's going to continue to be that. That's this month. Next month is going to be worse for them because it'll be an 11 month. And 11 month is about tearing things down. It's going to get worse before it gets better. There's going to be many loss of life and buildings and bombs and explosions and real battle. But when July comes, you're going to see a change. And at July, because of the destruction they're going to do to themselves, they're going to cool it down. They're going to start to come into conversation. They're going to try to figure out how we can collaborate on things, whatever it is that they need to figure out. That won't even happen. It'll start in July, August. They're going to structure better so everybody feels like they are winning.
When I read on it, I saw the world. So it's like the world court, or the world's going to step in. So, yeah.
Yeah, I can see that, but that won't happen until more towards the summer. Someone's going to have to step in. That's the whole thing, though. And I'm just going to say this. Sometimes we step into things maybe where we should be, maybe I don't know. But I know that we've spent about $3.8 billion giving it to Israel for military forces. And so we can't have that kind of a step in. That's just my opinion. Please, people. You know, it's not Linda, it's me saying that.
Now, the tours prior to the insurrection, are they putting that in a box and saving that before they reveal that?
I think that they are.
That's what I was feeling. I was feeling like
because,
they know, but they're putting all their ducks in a row.
Yes, exactly. Because I think they've got at least 400 people, but they've got to really build on this case. They've got to have everything in line. And so they've got to show causation. You know, we've seen the effect. Now we got to see the cause. And I don't think that they will tip their hands like that for us to know about, you know.
Right. No, they're and it took a while to get your Department of Justice together.
Yeah.
So, well, Carol wrote me this. I asked Mel, and I'm going to ask you. Mo Brooks from Georgia has been hiding to avoid getting served in the lawsuit filed by Representative Eric Swalwell about January 6th. Will the private investigator finally catch up with Representative Brooks to serve him the lawsuit?
Look, so I just,
whoa,
and there we go. Absolutely. Absolutely. He will catch up with them. Absolutely. And there'll be a lot of regret and all of that, but it's the stuff that you didn't think about at the time that you were doing what you were doing. That so it, you know, it never makes, you know, they will regret it. But I'm always like, but see, you knew that this was going to happen. Why did you do what you did to begin with? So, yeah, I think so. I think so.
Okay. And will Nancy Pelosi finally start the process of getting rid of Marjorie Greene?
Oh, that is a great one. Let me shuffle on that. I was just thinking about, that's the one I was thinking about. First of all, why is she not, well, I'm going to say, why hasn't she acted on that? But I think Marjorie has been removed from committees already. Isn't that correct? That's like, you know, sort of like when you work a job, you know, you get a job and then you got to go through the, you know, you got in trouble, you got the talking to, and then the write up.
Sure. Hold on 1 second.
Sure.
The gardener arrived. Okay.
So let me see what I have on that. Yeah, I need the gardener over here. We are getting our house ready for my daughter's. She's going to have the wedding and then we're going to do a reception here. Oh, it's beautiful.
You know, that backyard looks gorgeous at your house.
Did you see it?
It's gorgeous. Is
Yeah.
it big?
It is huge because we live in like, this is like the country. This is like yeah, it's a little more rural, but not completely. So it's big properties. It's not like, I can
Is it
touch my
one
neighbor
story
next
or
door.
2-story?
My home is a ranch style.
Let me tell you, I just went to look at some new places. My friend talked me into going because I'm not interested in buying, but I went just out of curiosity. And those houses were so packed together. You could look out your window and look at another person. The backyard was just a strip of land, just this big.
Right.
And I went downstairs and they had an upstairs, big old upstairs. And I said, sorry, I just was curious because I would never buy something like this. I can't
Mm-mm.
upstairs. And she said, you know what? They're not making the ranch style anymore, at least in California.
Wow.
Because you get more for your bang with squeezing everybody in.
Yes, exactly.
Multi-million-dollar homes in Nevada where my sister lives. And I went, when they opened up, we went through the walkthrough, side by side, little tiny backyard.
Yeah. I'm from Vegas. So I know that. So that first of all, in Vegas, you can touch the person next door. You can look in their window while they're in the bathroom, in the shower, whatever the case. And then, they don't really have a backyard. It's like a strip of land. Sometimes it's got just rocks down there.
Now, Vegas is big. Why would they do that?
Well, because the BLM won't let them expand. They can only go up. I'd say so. Most of Las Vegas or in the state of Nevada is owned by the Bureau of Land Management. So just a few of the cities down close from that borders with California and then Arizona, like Nevada and Las Vegas are there. But yeah, they're a whole facade in Vegas. It looks like it's huge. When you go in there, it's very tiny.
Wow.
But our house was built in 1960, and then the person they were deceased or whatever, and the person before us that owned it, what he did was he owned it for 2 years, and in that 2 years he ripped everything out of the house and he redid it so it was brand new. Everything you can still, when something's new, you can still smell the wood smell and all of that. It's like that. The bathroom looks like a spa. The bathrooms, it's beautiful. It's huge. It's way too much room, but I am not mad. Okay. So the yard
is
good.
So this house must have been so cool, huh?
Say again, what did you say?
This house that you have now must have been so cool.
Yeah, very much so. We used to own a colonial. We had owned a colonial, and I love colonials because it was very like formal. You have the formal living room, then you have the formal dining room, and then you go in the kitchen, and it was all nice and separated up, like lots of boxiness, rooms. But I've grown to really like this. I have an open concept, and so I love it, and because we like to entertain. So as far as Nancy does not like to rush to do anything.
I know.
Nancy is collecting all evidence pieces, whatever information that she needs on this person. Believe me, she definitely has her eye on her. She would like to get rid of her or at least silence her, period. So I would think if she's going to silence her altogether, that is, I'd like to get rid of her.
Well, she's harassing people. She's harassing AOC. Girl, if I'd go down there with AOC and look at you need to like. Bullies don't like being attacked.
No, that's why they bully, because they think that no one will attack them. But when you confront them, all of a sudden they run in the opposite direction or they have nothing to say. So she wants to shut her up. I'm going to say like that, even though I told my students and my kids, don't say shut up. That's a bad word. But anyway, she wants to quiet her up. She sees no growth in her, no purpose in her. And I think that she is going to work to get rid of her for sure. Oh, yes. Yeah, she's going to get rid of her. She's getting rid of her. Yeah. But give her time. Okay. She needs time because she's going to take all the time she needs. She's a very mature, very wise person. Oftentimes we can get to a certain age, but maturity doesn't come with. And so she will not be rushed.
Well, listen, when Trump did his speech and she tore the speech in half,
that's
how mad she was.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Or that she would have told her people don't do any display like that because that's fodder for him. But when she tore it, I said, oh.
Yeah, I like like to know when her birthday is. I don't know her
I think it's in
birthday.
April. She's Aries.
Is she an Aries? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I got an Aries in my life. Please don't get them upset because they're gonna blow hard, but
Oh,
they'll cool off.
they
You know what I
cool.
mean?
Well, listen,
Yeah.
I just read an article, might have been the New York Times, about Biden. He's a Scorpio, as you know, but
Yes.
he can be a snapperhead.
Oh, yeah,
He
honey.
loses his temper.
Yes, Scorpios are like that, but Scorpios are a little more cunning. Okay. They're a little more cunning, where Aries is just coming. A
Yeah.
Scorpio is going to lay back, watch, and they got I remember. Please know when I come for you, there's a reason. They're more
Okay.
like that.
Yeah, and also they say he doesn't make snap decisions.
No,
He has
I
to
don't.
have a lot of input. And then, but you got to get to the point or he'll snap at you.
He said, I don't have time. I don't have a lot of time.
Yeah. So listen, what do you see about the Arizona audit?
I don't know about the Arizona audit. Do I know that? No.
The Arizona audit where those whack jobs came in and said, we're going to recount these ballots.
Oh, yes.
And
Okay.
Sue just wrote, and she said to me, they found a wireless router in the audit area. Are they calling our personal info?
Let me take a look and see. Well, okay.
Sorry,
So,
is that too loud?
Yep.
Is it too loud?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Let me put
That's
this
okay.
on pause for a second. There we go. Sorry, you guys. We had to put you on a couple of minute pause. They were doing that blower and it was loud.
So let's
Or it
talk about
even affected you.
as it comes to the audit. First of all, they are battling and struggling and arguing, and there's a lot of chaos around all of that. Okay. Of how we're either going to try to hide it, how we're going to fix it, how we're going to change it. But there's a lot of arguing going on. And then I see there's court. Okay. So I don't know if they're supposed to go to court because I don't know a lot about the situation, but they're definitely going to take this to court. So there's that aspect. Is this
From the beginning? I saw like a court tells them, knock it off.
Yes, that's what I see. This is the audit for the Trump votes. Is that what they're looking at?
Yeah, they think some of the things are bamboo and they're trying to make stuff up as they go along.
Yeah, that's that five of wands is a bunch of hooey.
Okay, do you feel Representative Kevin McCarthy will be subpoenaed to testify on the January 6th commission?
Yes, that's the first thing came to my mind. Yes.
Wow.
For some reason, he's scrambling. I think it's probably he may know more than what he's trying to let on to, obviously, but I think he's going to be scrambling, and I do see him being called to testify. He's going to walk this tight line, though, where he's keeping it real. You know how they say keep a lie close to the truth, so you get away with the lie. He's going to do that. Okay. He's not going to be as forthcoming.
Initially he was so mad at Donald Trump and he expressed it, and then he changed on a
dime.
That's how they all do.
Mm-hmm.
Remember how bad Lindsey Graham used to talk about Trump?
Yes, I do. I absolutely do. Name calling and everything else. And all of a sudden, he changed.
So Mo wants to know, can the guides tell what it means to go from 3D to 4D? What symptoms we might experience.
Okay. So I want to talk about this. There's like 7 layers. Okay. 7 layers. We are on Earth. That's very I don't mean so much atmospheric, but in terms of 3D, 2D, 5D, 6D, that. Okay. And so most of us are on 1D because that's where Earth is, the very bottom. Okay. And it's because it's a lot of low vibration, and it's supposed to be because we're supposed to rise up above that. Some people will, and some people never will. How do you know where you are? if you are anxious all the time, if you're constantly worried about money situations, if you're, looking for love all out here when love is in here, that thirsty for stuff, that type of attitude, if you have found some reason to dislike people because of the melanin or lack of, or their sexual orientation, you are in 1D, okay? And your guides, they can come down to meet you wherever you are. You just can't go up to them, if that makes sense.
Right.
Some of us have gone up to 3D, 4D. Some people have gone up even higher than that, and they live a certain particular life. And so really that's all that is where you are depends on we talked about that faith, what you believe, what you see out of your eyes. Because the world is really, all our life is really a mirror. So if I'm only thinking negative, that's all I'm going to see. And that's just a reflection of who I am. So I don't know if that answered the question, but there's different layers and different levels.
So what do you see for the 2022 races? Do you think we'll still hold the House and the Senate?
I think so. I think absolutely we will. In fact, I'm going to say it right here. Absolutely.
Yep, I said the
we will.
I see us overtaking the Senate.
Yes.
20. I see us winning that.
By a wider,
the House feels about the same.
Yeah, but it'll be a wider margin. Like we're just right on the border right now. It'll be a wider, and because of that Republican split, they're gonna cause themselves to be defeated. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and I think that we will just keep going in this vein, with let's do what we're supposed to do. Let's do the right thing. One thing I want to talk about really quickly that last time you were talking about, no, you did a separate video after our video about you had an alien. I think it was an alien.
Oh yeah, did you see here that he predicted those 2 train crashes, and he said didn't involve humans, it involved like the boxcars.
Yes.
And 2 of them happened, one in Minnesota with 50 cars and another one in Idaho last night with fertilizer.
So what I wanted to just add on to that, because we didn't even talk about that the last time, and I thought it was just so important, is that we do have visitors here. We do have aliens. I hate that word, but we do have visitors here. They're not here to come in, take over. We're not going to be zoomed up, like in the movies and in something in a spaceship and all of that. That's not it. They are vibrating on a way higher level. They don't have this desire to battle. That is our earthly 1D level. They don't want to do that, but they do want to come in and let us know that they are here. After you had said that, I ended up seeing one coming out of a closet that I had. It just came out. Skin was really pink pale, but not like our skin. It was almost like it was plastic or something, and with the baldness to his head. But they are here to help and support and protect us from anything that we would do to ourselves.
Exactly.
Okay?
That's what he said. And he said, we've always been here. We've been in the ground. We've been everywhere. And they're also part of our DNA.
Right. Yeah. And actually, and I don't know if you said this too, he was saying that they live amongst us. Some of them actually live here amongst us in this form, not to do anything, but to observe what is going on. Okay. And so they're not going to allow us to get too far off the rails. So.
Right. And the military has talked to them. There's notches of military that know about them.
Right. I know the military released some photos and things like that, but I was going down to UNLV. That's where I went to college, UNLV, University of Nevada, Las Vegas. So my ex-husband was driving me. Did I tell you that? He was driving me, and I looked up in the sky. We were stopped at a red light right on Flamingo and Maryland Parkway. So that's the street. And I looked up, and up to the right was a object. I didn't know what it was. It was dark. It was sort of ovalish. And it just had me absolutely hypnotized. Usually you look up, you see a plane or something, and you just go about your business. But it had me hypnotized. And as I was getting ready to tell him, I said, Greg, look up, look. As soon as he looked up, it took off just like that in the opposite direction in complete, incredible high speed, you know. Now, this is
Wow.
way back in the 70s, 80s. And at that time, you know, if you came to Vegas, maybe you did, I'm not sure, but it wasn't a whole lot out here. It's not the Vegas that it is now. You know, we had the smaller El Ranchos, Bally's used to be in a different location, a different kind of Caesars, yada, yada, yada. It was more like open, where we used to actually have the tumbleweeds coming out in the street and getting stuck under your bottom of your car. That was how wild it was. But I think it was just the aspect of it being open, and it was daylight. You know, it was not nighttime. It was absolutely daylight. So yes, they've always been here.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So the person that came to me looked like a human, but not human. The eyes were very different. What was that
Yes.
person that came out of the closet?
Hold
on 1 second. Again.
I see your puppy.
My yard. He's next door. But that's how loud it is.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, he's getting the job done, I guess.
Yeah.
But he was very thin, very, very thin. His skin, I want to say opaque, but not really. Almost look like baby doll color skin, like a baby doll. You know, like when you buy your daughter a little doll, like that. Didn't have a lot of color to it. Nothing, no hair. The eyes were kind of strange, but not overly strange. But you could tell it wasn't human.
But
he
it
did
wasn't
not come
lizard-like or anything.
no, not at all. But longer arms, kind of out of proportion, arms and legs, a little bit out of proportion to the body. But he did not come in any aggressive way. He just came out, said what he said, or I felt he said what he said, you know, inside myself, I could hear, and that was it. I mean, yeah, it was nothing frightening. He did not have on one stick of clothes. He had no genitalia, he or she. There was no indication whether it was male or female, but I say he because it's the correct
that skin
pronoun to
that you
use.
thought was skin could have even been a suit.
It could have been, very well could have been. But yeah, that's what I saw.
You know, there's a show on Netflix. I think it's Netflix, MUFON, you know, about the reports. They did a Vietnam special where there were so many UFOs at Vietnam. Initially, the military on the riverboats would shoot at them. Do you know they took every bullet they sent them and shot it right back at them?
Wow.
And then another time, an Australian boat, two jets came and they shot missiles, and the UFOs took off. And then an Australian boat out at the ocean got hit by one of them. They went to shoot at them, and they hit them with a missile. And the serial number on that missile was the missile that came from the United States.
Wow.
So finally, the government said, don't fight back. Don't hit them. Don't do anything. And now these guys are talking over on the East Coast. These Air Force guys down in Florida and stuff, they're saying, listen, every single day they're there. Every single day. And we're not supposed to make a fuss. We report it, but we're not, you just not, he said, I'd love to know why they're here, what they're doing.
I think we just need to be, to be. And plus,
that's what
think about this, Linda. Just think about this. And this is so North America. I'm gonna say North America, because this is where I live. To think that we are the only creatures in this entire universe or this galaxy or whatever. Are you kidding me? No, not at all. Can I ask you a question? Sure. I wanted to talk about this. This was one of the Proud Boys. I think I wrote his name down. Ethan Nordine. They are really pissed at Trump. They feel that Trump had all these people following behind them like sheep. This is Proud Boys saying that. And yet you sort of threw us up under the bus. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, is that going to be a separate group? You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about Republican split. These are the people that didn't necessarily have a political affiliation, that they just felt like we need a say. We're going to have a say in this, not politically motivated, but it
Right.
was sort of a free for
But
all.
they followed their leader, and
Yes.
it was very racist organization.
Yes.
It was all
Yes.
about racism. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but he didn't have their back.
Right.
So they
Right.
got used. Yeah.
So
It's
I'm
still
wondering,
racist.
do you think that some of those radical rights, I'm gonna call them insurrectionists, are they gonna like listen to that and like, oh yeah, you got a point, he didn't, or are they gonna be blindly following Trump? And I
No,
just think that, what do you think?
no. They're already going away.
Mm-hmm.
Trump's numbers, they're not telling Trump his true numbers. He's not
Yeah.
all that. People are tired of him. You
Mm-hmm.
start giving child credits that are coming in July for these moms and dads. You start having the infrastructure repaired. Where's the purpose of voting for Trump? He's nobody. He's nothing.
Right. Yeah, he has nothing to offer, you know. So I don't think it's Trump, the man. I think it's Trump, the philosophy
Yes.
that has them going. But I think that with this leader of the Proud Boys saying this, they don't want to even be saddled with that. They don't have a, like you said, it's more of a racist issue. They don't have a political affiliation
Right.
because they were part of the people that were going to even hang Pence, you know, and get Nancy Pelosi and many others. So I think there will be people that are going to follow suit and already have with this. I'm going to maybe let this Trump thing go, or Trump as a person, but maybe follow along with this philosophy of that he had. He did have to me, a philosophy of that he was feeding the people, or maybe he was just saying what they really wanted to hear, what they wanted to say.
Only saying what they, he was a Democrat till Obama came in office. Then he
He
switched to
was.
Republican.
He was. And that tells you about US history as it comes to education. So many people are uneducated or undereducated, meaning that they were there, but they didn't get the
Right.
lesson,
And
you
his
know?
father was part of the Ku Klux Klan. So Trump was
Yeah.
raised with that. It's in his
Mhm.
DNA.
It is absolutely. So yeah, I just thought I would bring that up and see what would happen with that.
No, they're going to the wayside. You still have your Trumpsters, but it's not as bad. I'll be honest with you. I figured we'd have more cells of people fighting America, but nothing has happened yet, which has surprised me. Is it calmed
Mhm.
down? Are people like already thinking, why didn't you give a pardon to the people who the insurrectionists? He could have done that, but he didn't do it.
No, he saved his pardons for those that on a higher level than him. I mean,
Well, he could make
he's a
money.
classist. As besides being racist, he's a classist. So these are the people he wouldn't, you know, have tea with or
No,
drink a soda pop with. They are in his mind, not in mine. In his mind, they are beneath him. These are people he would laugh about, you know, behind their back, you know.
yeah.
So
Well, my
yeah.
friend, our time is up.
Oh, okay. Let me put my glasses back on. Boy. So let me tell you what I've got going on, which
Okay.
is the wedding, Toriana's. I told you that. Then we're going on
Yeah.
vacation. And then in July, I will be back to do readings. So you can contact me from July on. I'll be doing personal readings again. I'm also in July going to start my very popular tarot class. I do a beginner tarot and I do an advanced tarot. So we're going to start the beginner class in July. So you'll see more about that on my channel. I'll do an official announcement and stuff as we get closer to July. But
Right.
that's what I got coming up. What you got coming up?
Shoot, laying around and eating. Shoot, I'm going to Sedona, and that'll take me 2 months to get over
So
that.
I was looking at your video. I told you about the comedy. If you guys have not seen this video of her doing comedy, it's hilarious. But anyways, where is Angel Heart? Like the building, there's another video and it shows like Angel Heart, like a picture of a red heart outside and everything.
Yeah,
Is that in
it's in a
Sedona?
town called Benicia, and Benicia was the first capital of California.
Oh, okay.
And the building that Angel Heart is in is called the Jorgensen Building, and it used to be a hotel on the waterfront. Benicia used to be a main thoroughfare for vessels, etc. So
Okay.
they had a hotel. Then it turned into a brothel. And upstairs was where the madams, even the room where the madame, the main madame stayed,
Mhm.
is still, that energy is still there. There was a
I
gal who
believe
had a
it.
facial place, and she went to leave, and she thought, why is the music on? I turned that off, and she goes in the room and the thing's unplugged.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
it's got ghostesses, girlfriend. It's got
It sounds
ghostesses.
like
But
it.
it used to be a brothel, and it got redone by the owner, and Carol rents the downstairs. And I'll tell you, the energy in there is fantastic. But it was the first capital of California.
Wow. So when are you going down there?
Not for a while because of COVID. It takes me a while to drive there.
Ah, okay. Okay.
It's a good drive. I don't mind driving because I go through Highway 12 with the the vineyards and stuff. It's very,
Right.
but it's just takes so bloody long.
Yeah.
And
I
now
can
that I
see that.
haven't been, see, on my weekends, I used to read there. I put so many miles on my car. I ended up, my last car, I was leasing it, and it will cost me like $4,000 in extra mileage. So I said, no,
Whoa.
I'm not going to do that anymore.
Mm-mm. No, I don't think so.
I'm booking now in December.
Wow.
So I'm definitely cutting down on my reading. So I can
Yeah.
only do what I can do. But listen, I'm going, after we get off, I need your link to how to book with you too.
Okay, for
I'm
sure.
going to put, you guys, I'm going to put her, be sure to go to her YouTube page and become a subscriber. And
It's Joyce All Knowing Tarot.
yes, and the other thing is you're offering classes. I don't do classes. What they're saying,
Oh,
"Linda, do you
I
do?"
love it.
No, that's not who I'm not a class person.
I love it. It takes work though, because you got to put the curriculum together, then you've got to make the copies, and you got to decide what's going to be in, and you got to decide how am I going to take these cards. For example, this time this will be the beginner tarot, and be able to spoon feed you. You know what I mean, without
Right.
leaving you in the dust. Because I always say we're in a boat, and I'm a captain of the boat, and we're going to get from this shore, and everybody is going over there. If you jump off the boat, we're still going to pull you back in the boat because
There you
we
go.
reach out
There
and
you go.
contact you. So yeah, it's a work. It's a pleasure though. I love it.
Okay. Well, it
Yeah.
was fun, girlfriend, and I'll be on your show next
Yes, you will in a couple of weeks.
in a couple of, well, actually a little longer than that because I'll be gone for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Bye, you guys.
Bye, guys.